All right. All right. Shalom. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua B'Gatham to the brothers, and Shalom Yahweh Shema Alathun Ba'ashim Yahushua to the sisters. We're the Israelite School, University of Practical Knowledge. Start at the 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command of General Yohana. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group, nor are we affiliated with any other Christian organization, all right? So, I'm priest and the officer of 1,000 Rosh Hashanah, and today's class is the Brotherhood class, all right? Tonight's class is the Brotherhood class, all right? Now, Brotherhood is very important, all right? When I mean Brotherhood is very important, it's very, very, very important. Now, before we get started, make sure you sign in. Put your name, city, and state, all right? Make sure, do not forget to sign in. Put your name, city, and state, all right? Do not forget to sign in. All right, name, city, and state. Do not forget the city and state. All right, name, city, and state. All right, don't forget to sign in. So tonight's class is the Brotherhood class. All right. So anyone paying attention, you know, everybody knows what I like to do when it comes to the Brotherhood class. I like to involve everybody into the class, especially during the Brotherhood class. Now, of course, I do this when I teach class. Of course, I do it almost majority of my classes. I try to get more the brothers and sisters to participate and kind of, you know, join in, because at times it gives a lot of brothers and sisters more of an understanding of what's being taught and what's being laid down. And also some cases it also helps you remember more because you are more involved. You weren't just listening. Now, no one's saying that you can't just listen and not learn. No one's saying that. You can just listen and hear us teaching, etc., 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 and you be able to retain that information. All right? But, you know, in most cases, the more you participate in the class, and the more you participate, especially if there's good participation, the more you remember about the class. The smallest details at times you can remember about the class than just listening. All right? You know, just like, for instance, participating in the class isn't just answering questions either. It's, you know, it could be as simple as saying, that's right, or I understand, or this is what you saying, Khan, I don't know Khan, and things, etc., etc. You're saying, oh yeah, I know that precept, or this is what happened at the slave that made me remember what you brought out in class. Like, all that stuff is good participation, because that helps you more involved. Right? It helps you get more involved in what's being taught and what's being laid down. So don't think that participation is just answering questions. Don't think that either. All right, as a brother and sister. Now, of course, personally myself, I love for the brothers and sisters to answer the questions I ask, because it helps everyone else learn and see either what's right and what's wrong in the areas where we need to have a more of an understanding at. All right. So you know, tonight's class is very important, right? So it's the Brotherhood class. All right. Now today's topic. Okay, I usually ask this later in the class, but I kind of want to get into the topic today. All right. I want to get into the topic today, so I won't ask too many questions. Well, okay, Salaki, I take that back, because I will ask questions. All right. That's not true. I will ask questions. Salaki. What I meant to say was, there's certain questions I won't ask, all right, for time's sake, and I'll just give it to you at times, all right, in some cases, all right. You know, later in the class, I might change that up a little, you know, depending on the participation and what's going on, all right. So tonight's class is the Brotherhood class, and our main focus is marriage and family. All right, marriage and family. All right. These are two important things that need to be taught, that need to be spoken about in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. Marriage is something that needs to be taught. Family is something that needs to be taught and spoken about. These are things that we overlook as Black, Hispanic, and Native American men. This is something that we overlook as Black, Hispanic, and Native, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American women. We overlook this at times because it's not so much of a focus anymore in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. No thanks to your Black Christian leaders from the 60s and the early 70s and going into the 80s. You know, marriage and black marriages, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American marriages have failed at a higher number than it was failing before these Black, Hispanic, and Native American Christian Black leaders came into power around the 60s and early 70s. All right? Because marriage was something very important. All right? And family too. Right? It wasn't until these Black Christian leaders from the 60s and early 70s, the rate of even thinking about and having a family and being there for a family and things that entail, different details that entail about a family has decreased, right? Since the 60s and 70s, right? Ever since civil rights, ever since integration. Like, these are things that destroyed Black marriages and Black families. Like, integration destroyed Black marriages and Black families. We may not understand that, right? But being Christian, right, and believing in integration, and believing that God loves everybody, and etc., these are variables that played a key part that destroyed Black, Hispanic, and Native American marriages and families. Now we no longer know what it means to be a husband or to be a wife. We no longer understand what it means to be a family. We no longer know what it truly means to be a father or to be a mother, right? We don't know these things anymore, right? Like being a father, right? Being a father and being a mother, these are very important roles. Like, these are titles that you hold. Like, you can't hold the title of father if you're not a father. Like, there's a certain role that a father plays. Like, you can't hold the title of mother and not do the roles that a mother entails. Like, you can't have that title. These are titles. These are positions in a household, within a family. Like, you can't just call yourself a father and not be a father. You can't just call yourself a mother and not be a mother. Like, this is impossible. This is outrageous. Like, it's completely unspeakable. And at times in my head, it's completely unthinkable. You can't do it. It's not allowed. And guess what? I won't allow it. And not in front of my face. I won't. Like, these are titles. These are positions in the house. And there's certain roles that a father plays. There's certain roles that a mother plays. It's very important to understand these roles and at least learn a quick and simple foundation of what these roles, right? To learn what these roles play, because they play a very important part. And I mean a very, very important part, man. Very. Marriage and family. Marriage and family. Now, anyone online paying attention, all right? We're going to get through this quick, all right? For time's sake, we're going to get through it quick. All right? Okay. Now, when it comes down to it, anybody online in class, right? What is equal and synonymous to brotherhood? We're gonna do this quick, all right? Because I know y'all know this by heart. All right? I know y'all know this by heart. So I wanna know who's been paying attention, and anyone that's new to class. I want you guys to learn what's synonymous and equal to brotherhood. Because there is something that's synonymous and equal to brotherhood. That's correct. Give the Aquaf a hand. All right? Aquaf Kapas correct. Sisterhood is equal to brotherhood. Sisterhood is synonymous with brotherhood. Brotherhood and sisterhood is one in the same. All right? Brotherhood and sisterhood are the same. All right? No difference. All right? Brotherhood and sisterhood are the same. Now, my next question is, what is brotherhood? Anybody online, what is brotherhood? All right? These are important things to know. All right? These are important things to know. What is brotherhood? Brotherhood is love. So if brotherhood is love, that means what? Sisterhood is love. Right? That's what that means. So anyone paying attention in class today, just know brotherhood and sisterhood are synonymous and equal to each other. They're the same thing. All right? They're the same thing. Now, what is brotherhood? Well, brotherhood is love. So if brotherhood is love, then sisterhood must be love. All right? We understand that. Now, my next question is, what is love? What is love? What is love? That's correct, Akwaf. That's true. That's a true statement right there. Marriage is brotherhood and sisterhood. Most High in Christ. That is very true. Marriage is brotherhood and sisterhood. That's exactly what it is. All right, and we'll break that down later into the topic. All right, later into the lesson. All right, and that's what love is. You know, the Akwaf, another hand, that is correct. All right, following the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Right, that's what love is. You can find this. Anybody want to give me my precept quickly, if you can? Where can I find this beautiful information at? 1 John chapter 5, verse 3, right? For this is the love of God. All right? 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. And his commandments are not grievous. Like, let me double check to see if that's actually verbatim. All right? Right, that's Salaki, that is verbatim. All right, 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. When the Lord said, for this is the love of God, meaning this is the love of God. This is what it is. It's not what you say. It's not what you think. It's not what you feel. But this is what the love of God is. You can feel the love of God as a feeling. No, God's going to tell you this is the love of God. Like you may think love is kissing rainbows and flying on clouds and etc., whatever the case may be. That's not what love is. Love, for this is the love of God. The Most High is literally about to tell you what the love of God is and what love is. If you are an Israelite, if you are so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American, this is a word that has a definition to according to the Lord. And you want to know the Lord's definition of love. If you want to talk about God and you want to talk about Christ, and you want to talk about how much you love God and how much you love Christ and how much you serve the Most High and how much you serve Christ, you might want to know the definition of love according to the Most High. He's going to let you know what love is according to him. So if you serve him, if you serve the Most High, and you believe in his Son, which is Christ, right? Then this is something that you need to know. This is something that you need to start doing then. You need to start loving, right? If you serve the Most High and you believe in his Son and you follow Christ, etc., you might want to start loving. And if you want to start loving, the first step is to figure out what is the loving. What does it mean to love? You can't just make up your own definition of love. You can't just make up your own opinion of love. Love is not opinionated. And we have to stop allowing love to be opinionated. Because there's so many opinions of love out there. That's confusion. Someone thinks, listen, this is why marriages don't work anymore. This is why marriages do not work anymore. Because there's so many definitions and opinions of love, it doesn't make any sense. You talk to a man, he thinks love is this. You talk to a woman, and she thinks love is this. That is not going to mix. The Lord says something about being equally yoked. That's it. That's it. Now, we're not saying back in the day when blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans were still Christians, right? We're not saying that, okay, put it this way. The Christians back in the day kind of are far better than the Christians that are today. And here's why. Because at the end of the day, the majority of the black community understood and they had the same definition of marriage. It's either you were going to be married, right, or you was damn near considered a whore, or some Rolling Stone or whatever the case may be on the man's behalf. Like there was no confusion in the black community like it is now. Even though black people were confused, but it's not as much confusion as it is now. Like black families back in the day, right? Like black families and Hispanic and Native Americans family understood what it means to be in a marriage. Like divorce was not a thing back then, right? Like it took a lot for any Christian pastor to be okay with divorcing you or whatever the case may be, whatever happened, it took a lot to be like, yeah, we can't do this no more, because they understood they were raised that marriage is forever, marriage is life. Like there's certain customs that were installed, there were certain practices and beliefs that were installed into the Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans' household, right? But now, of course, Barakatah Yahweh Yahushua for Commanding General Yohana, for the Most High raising up Commanding General Yohana and teaching us what it truly means to have a family and to love each other and actually have a marriage according to the Lord and according to the Bible, actually, and what it really means. So now there is no more confusion. This is what it is. This now we no longer have a Christian. We no longer have a Christian doctrine attached to our marriages anymore. Now we no longer have the stigma of Christianity attached to our families anymore. Now we truly know what it means to serve the Most High and follow Christ and have that doctrine and have that foundation when it comes to our marriages and families now, right? Now there is no more confusion, because now we know. Now we're going to learn and know, right, what marriage really is and what family really is according to the Lord. All right? Everybody understands that? Right. People don't want to compromise, sacrifice, or suffer. Right? Now, when it comes now, Salaki, all right, to add to what the sister's saying too, I agree with the suffering and sacrifice. Now, I'm going to refrain from using the word compromise. All right, and here's the reason why I'm gonna refrain from the word compromise. Because marriage is not really so much about compromising to an extent. All right, there is no compromising in marriage when it comes to a certain extent. All right, we don't want to use the word compromise. We want to use the word communication. All right, we have to communicate with each other. All right, because at the end of the day, marriage is marriage. Let's say you guys don't compromise, y'all still married. That's all. I'm just gonna let y'all know right now. We're gonna get into the lesson though, but to continue what the sister was saying, it doesn't matter if y'all compromise, y'all come to a compromise or not. Y'all still married according to the Lord. It's just that simple. All right. We gonna get to it. All right, we're gonna get to it. All right. So let's get it. Let's see what we got here. Let's get Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. All right, let's get Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. Remember, don't forget to check in and sign in. Make sure you put your name, city, and state. Do not forget to sign in and put your name, city, and state. All right. So now, okay, let's see. I might want to start at verse 23. Okay, I might. Yeah, I'm going to start at verse 23. All right, I'm going to start at verse 23. All right. All right, let's see. Let's see. I might want to start at verse 23. So like give me a quick second. Let's see. Let me get that correct. Yeah, okay. Let me add that real quick. So now we're going to get 2 Samuel in there. All right, we're going to get in there 2 Samuel. All right, we're going to get to 2 Samuel 2. Okay. Just by the way, I'm kind of giving y'all some answers here, but no sweat. All right. So if y'all want to block me out real quick, no sweat, okay? All right. But I want to make sure I get through this entire topic too as well. All right. That's not it. Not it. Why did I do that? All right. So let's go. So let's go to Genesis. Let's go to Genesis chapter 2, verse 23. All right. Genesis chapter 2, verse 23. All right. Now, Genesis chapter 2, verse 23. And Adam said. So right now, this is talking about Adam. Right. We're in the beginning. Right. Genesis literally translates to Bara in the Hebrew, which means in the beginning. All right. So if y'all did not know that, Genesis in the Hebrew is Barashia, which literally means in the beginning. Genesis literally means the beginning. All right. So this is the beginning. Like this is the beginning of what the Lord set up. Like this is what we have to understand. The Lord set things in place far before we even got to Christ. Right? Like the Lord set up certain things to be done far before Christ even came on the scene. But now when Christ did come onto the scene, Christ expanded on what the Lord set up since the beginning. Like Christ was explaining more in detail what was going on and what needs to be done, right? How it was set up from the beginning and what the Lord wants from so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and explain the prophecies from the priests and prophets of the Lord from the Old Testament, etc., etc., right? That's all it was. But the Lord set certain things up far before us, of course, way far before us, and way far before Christ. You know what I'm saying? So this is in the beginning. So Genesis chapter 2, verse 23, and Adam said, now this is Adam. Now we know a little bit about Adam, all right? We know about, now for anyone that may have a Christian mindset that might be coming into class or may not know already, I'm going to just briefly go over. Adam is not the first man on earth, all right? There were other people on the earth before Adam, all right? And the Lord just chose Adam, but that's an entire breakdown of itself, so that's not today's class, all right? But the Lord chose Adam and raised him up from the bottom to the top and gave him his laws, statutes, and commandments to live by and follow. And he did the same thing with Eve, all right? Now here we go, okay? Now here we go. But we're going to start at verse 23, and I'm going to give you a brief recap. Adam was alone. Adam did not have a wife, okay? So the Lord gave Adam a wife. And here we go in verse 23. The Lord is going to explain pretty much what Adam is going to say something, all right? So, and Adam said, this is now bone of my bones. So the Lord gave Adam Eve to be his wife, all right? Now, Adam and Eve became husband and wife. You can find that information in verse 22 above, but we're going to start at verse 23 for time's sake. All right. This is now the bone of my bones. All right. And flesh of my flesh. Now, anybody online paying attention, anybody want to give it a shot. All right. If anyone knows already, that's fine. All right. That's perfect. But for anyone that may not know, right, this is the point of brotherhood and sisterhood. There may be brothers and sisters in class that might not know this breakdown, that might not know these scriptures and what they mean. And in tonight's class, we're going to kind of go over it. All right? Well, not kind of. We're going to go over it. So Adam said, this is now bone of my bones. Right? So, you know what? I'm going to have to go to verse 22. So, Laki. Genesis chapter 2, verse 22. Because I have to give you guys context at this point. I can't. I felt Christian back there for a second because I just don't want to throw y'all in the fire. So, Salaki. So, Genesis chapter 2, verse 22. And the rib, which the Most High power had taken from man. So that rib, that the Most High took from man, that rib is referring to Eve. And, okay? So, that rib is referring to Eve. Specifically Eve. All right? Which the Most High taken from man. Right? All right. Made he a woman. So this is the woman that he took from man. Okay. This is the woman that he took from man. All right. Meaning he took from a race of people. He took from a certain nation of people. That's what man means. All right. Man doesn't always mean an individual man. All right. That's the problem and the misunderstanding that a lot of us have. Man does not always mean an individual man. Man can also mean mankind. All right. Just like when Neil Armstrong landed on the moon, all right? We're not going to talk about conspiracy here, all right? I don't care what y'all believe when it comes to the man, when America made it to the moon. I don't care. If y'all want to believe it's fake, it's fake. If y'all want to believe it's real, it's real. Don't care, all right? That's not the point. What we're going to focus on is what Neil Armstrong said when he landed on the moon and what's on record and the case may be. He said one step for man, right? And one step for what? For mankind, right? One step for man, right? Meaning he was referring to, once again, the entire people, mankind. Once again, the entire people. They mean the same thing. All right? Okay? Now, of course, I won't go into the detail about one step for man and one step for mankind and etc. etc. All right? So, let's see. And made he a woman. So this is a woman that the Lord is talking about. And brought her unto the man. All right? So now, who is the man in this context? Eve was brought to Adam. Okay, Eve was brought to Adam. Okay, so she was taken out of man. She was taken out of a certain race, out of a certain nation of people, right? All right, one quick drop, and then she was given to Adam, which is the man. Verse 23. And Adam said, "This is now the bone of my bones, right, and flesh of my flesh." Can anybody tell me what does it mean to be the bones of my bones and the flesh of my flesh? Does anybody know? Does anybody know what it means, the bones of my bones and flesh of my flesh? What does that mean? Does anybody know? Now keep in mind, this is a black man's book. This is a Latino man's book. This is a Native American man's book. This is very spiritual here. Adam said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh." Does anybody know what that means? Okay. Anybody else want to give it a shot? Okay, Aqua. Okay. Anybody else want to give it a shot? What does it mean, bones of my bones and flesh of my flesh? The Aqua said family. So family, right? The bones of my bones and the flesh of my flesh. He literally said, "This is now my family." Now this is how you know that Adam is referring to his family when he says this. All right? This is how you know that Adam is talking about his family when he says this. That the bones of my bones and flesh of my flesh is saying family of my family. All right? Family of my family. So now, 2 Samuel chapter 19 verse 12 says, all right, now this is now to give you a backdrop in 2 Samuel chapter 19 verse 12. These are Israelites, right? Right? Coming to King David, right? So these are Israelites, right? These are one of the precepts for it, all right? But these are Israelites going up to King David. And these are what these Israelites say. These are what these Jews say to King David. "Ye are my brethren." All right? "Ye are my brethren." All right? So, Lucky, I have that, I said that incorrectly. So, Lucky, this is a message being said from King David. So, Lucky, this is a message being said from King David. All right, so Lucky. There's another verse when the Israelites came to King David. But this is King David talking to the house of Israel, talking to the Israelites. All right. So this is King David talking to the Israelites, and King David gave a message to Sadak. All right, which was and to Abiathar, a priest. All right, and saying, "Speak unto the elders of Judah." Right. And seeing the speech of all Israel to come to the king, right? And come to his house, etc., etc. And so this message is coming from King David. King David is a Jew. The chapter we're in is 2 Samuel chapter 19, verse 12. Now this is King David sending a message to the house of Judah, right? Well, to the elders of Judah, right? To Israelites, right? This is a message from King David to the Israelites, to the Jews, right? Well, to the elders of Judah, which are still Israelites, right? So now there's a nationality attached to this. Now there's a specific race attached to this. And King David said, this message from King David says in verse 12, 2 Samuel chapter 19, verse 12, ye are my brethren. So saying ye meaning you. That's Old English for you. You are my brethren. Ye are my brethren. Now, what does it mean to be brethren, right? When we now think about it, this is a black man's book. This is a Hispanic man's book. This is a Native American man's book. So like your brethren is plural for brothers. Meaning, in context, right? Family. A brother is something that's part of your family. Just like how you have a father, a mother, right? You have a sister, right? Maybe you have a daughter, a son. These are people that consist of a family. These are people, these are labels that entail a family, that consist of family. These are family members. A father is a family member. A mother is a family member. A brother, a sister is a family member. A son, a daughter, these are family members, right? Etc., etc. So it says, ye are my brethren. This is pluralized for brothers, right? Pluralized for brothers in the Old English. Brethren, right? Right? Meaning, ye are my family. You are my brothers. That's what King David is saying. You are my brothers. You are my family. You are my brethren. Ye are my bones. So now we know brethren, which is brothers, right? Which are members of a family, right? The Lord says, ye are my bones. Now we know the word bones, in most cases, depending on the context of the scripture, right? Depending on the context of the scripture, is now associated and attached with family, all right? Family. Ye are my bones and my flesh. Ye are my bones and my flesh. So now we know bones and flesh are now in context, or now we know bones and flesh. These words in the Bible are now referenced and attached to the word family in the Bible, or brethren, or brothers, which are members of a family. All right. So now we know this. All right. Now this is a precept for you to prove that when we say bones of my bones and flesh of my flesh, right? It means family. All right. It means family. So now let's go back to Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. All right, and so, I said it right, so like Genesis chapter 2, verse 23. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones. Now, when it says it right here, it says, this is now bones of my bones. All right, so this is now family of my family. So Eve was taken out of Adam's family, which means Eve is family, right? Eve is family, meaning she is the same race and comes from the same nation of people that Adam comes from. This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. Bones deal with the what? The body, right? Flesh deals with the what? The body, right? To give you an example, like a modern day example of how we talk today as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? When we say that this person is my family, we no longer say, of course, bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. We no longer say that anymore. But we do say this, that's my blood, right? Am I literally saying that's my blood? Are we literally saying this is, like if I say to you, this is from my blood, like this person right here comes from my blood. Am I literally saying this person literally comes from my actual blood of my body? When I say that's my blood, am I literally saying that's my blood, like literally the blood that comes out of my body? Or is that spiritual reference to what? That's my family. That's my brother. That's my sister, right? Does everybody understand Khan or La'ah? Did I lose anybody? Before I go on, Khan or La'ah? Does everybody understand? So it says, this is now bone of my bones, right? And flesh of my flesh, Most High Christ, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man, right? So now, so this is talking about Eve right here, Most High Christ. This is talking about Eve, all right? So now, verse 24. Let's go to verse 24. And Adam said, verse 24, therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother. So therefore, now let's not forget, this is Genesis in the beginning. These are laws, right, and customs and traditions that the Lord is explaining to us on what to do, right, in our communities, in our homes, in our households, within our families, within our marriages, right? So therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, right? So this is what a man is supposed to do. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife. I mean, this is what this man should be doing. Like, this man is to cleave unto his wife, meaning to be with his wife, right? Because now that wife is his responsibility, right? Unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. What does it mean to be one? It says they shall be one flesh. What is the Lord saying there? There, and they shall be one what? What's the word that should be replaced there for flesh? So we can all understand. What is the Lord saying right here? And shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one what? What's the Lord saying? They shall be one what? One family. Anybody else? One what? One what? One what? One family. Give the Aquaf a hand. She's correct. Right? One, give the Aquafian a hand too. They've been spot on this class. One family. So it says, and they shall be one flesh. Give the one family, meaning they are family. So when a man marries a woman, they are family. This is something that we have to understand. You don't have to have children to be family. Does everybody understand that real quick? Let's talk about that. You don't have to have children to be a family. The moment you get a wife as a man, the moment you get a husband as a wife, or as a woman, right? You guys are a family at that point. That's it. You are family. You guys became a family once that happened. Does that make sense? The moment y'all laid down with each other and married each other, right? Because remember, sex is marriage, right? And we're going to get that as part of the lesson. Sex is marriage, right? You become a family at that point. That's why sex isn't just something to do. Sex isn't just pleasure. Sex is responsibility. Sex involves family. Literally, you create family when you stick your rod into a woman. When you open your legs to a man, you are creating a family according to the Lord. This is a foundation that needs to be taught in Black, Hispanic, and Native American homes. We have too much of a problem of 12 and 13 and 14 and 15 and 16-year-old boys and girls having sex at young ages. We can't do that. We have to teach our children that sex is creating a family. That's what sex is. Sex isn't just to get off. Sex isn't just for pleasure alone. Sex is the creation of a family. Does it feel good to make family? Hell yes it does. It feels goddamn amazing. Alright? But it's creating a family. That's what it is. And we have to install that discipline into our sons and into our daughters when it comes to building a family. Because sex is creating a family. This is how you should teach it to your children. That you should say it just like this. Sex is creating a family. When your children get to a certain age where you know where their hormones and etc., you know, we've all been, you know, teenagers before and etc. We know when hormones kick in. That's the time to have a talk. It's not a, you know, you want to call it the birds and the bees, that's fine. No. Whatever the case you want to call it. But you want to have a talk about family. On what sex really is. You want to teach them that sex is marriage. You want to teach them that sex is creating a family. You want to teach them about what makes a family and what a family is really about. Alright? You can explain to your children sex feels great. Yeah. But it's responsibility that comes after that. You understand? Alright? Alright? So right here. And cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh, meaning one family. So when a man and a woman, right? A man and a woman, right? When they marry each other, right? They become a family. A marriage is a family. That's why today's topic is about marriage and family. Alright? The spirit behind that is family and family. The class is about family. If you haven't figured it out yet, it's about family. That's really what it is. Because marriage is family. That's the point. Marriage and family. All I said was family and family. Alright? Do you know why I said that? Do you know why I set the title up like that? Because this is what the Lord said. Bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. The Lord literally just said family 4 times. Family of my family, family of my family. But he said it, bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. I said it, marriage and family. But all I'm saying is family and family. Alright? Today's is about family. Alright? Tonight's Brotherhood class is about family. Alright? Because marriage is a family. Let's keep that in mind. So, Salakia, are we still family as brother and sister? Expound on that question. Aren't we still family as brother and sister? Well, explain that. What do you mean by that? I think I know what you mean, but explain a little further. Family of my family. Let's get the next scripture in there. Let's get Genesis chapter 24, verse 16. Okay, it says, I see my sisters and brothers as my family. Okay, right. If you consider someone to be your brother, and you consider someone to be your sister, that is your family, right? So before you before you and your husband, let's say, for instance, you're married, right? Let's say if any brother or sister is married out here. Before you guys became husband and wife, you were brother and sister. All right? So lucky. Everybody understand that? Before you guys became husband and wife, you guys were brother and sister. Understand? Aqua? Okay, now let's get Genesis chapter 24, and we're going to get verse 67. All right? We're going to get Genesis chapter 24, right, and verse 67. He's still my brother and husband, right? Okay. Yes, he's still your brother, right? Yes, he's still your brother and your husband at the same time. Yes, that is true. So if you have a husband, right, that husband is your brother as well, all right? Now, of course, because he is your husband, of course, there's certain rules and regulation that comes with a husband. Then there's rules and regulation that comes with a brother. But they both coincide. The only difference is you have to listen to your husband. And you're having sex with your husband, but you're not having sex with your brother. Right? That's the only difference. Okay? Alright? But your husband is still a brother. Because before your husband was your husband, he was your brother. So you will still treat him like a brother. You'll still love him like a brother. You'll still love him because he is your what? He is your family. That's the reason why we say before your husband was your brother, right? Before your husband was your husband, we will say he was your brother. Before we say your wife was your wife, she was your sister. Why? Because you have to understand that she is still family. He is still family. All right? And you have to love them as you would love your family. You're going to protect them, right? And teach them and guide them and be there for them just like you would your family. Because you became one flesh. You became one family when you became husband and wife. All right? So we want to understand the spirit behind that is family. That we are family. All right? This is a very important foundation that needs to be taught in Black, Hispanic, and Native American homes, man. Like our marriages fail and our families fail in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community because we do not understand the foundation of family. All right? Now, of course, what is the foundation of family? What's the foundation of family? Someone blow my mind. What's the foundation of family? Anybody know? What's the foundation of family? I'll accept two answers, but one is a better answer. The foundation of family is what? God. Love is the foundation of family. Love, laws and commandments. Love is the foundation of family. Right? That is the foundation of family. Right? That is true. Alright? Right? Love, right? That is the foundation of family. Now someone blow my mind. Someone blow my mind. Okay? That is the foundation of family, but someone blow my mind. What's the foundation of family? That's correct, right? But I want you guys to blow my mind. What is the foundation of family? That's correct. Love is the foundation of family. But what is the foundation of family? Somebody blow my mind. I think you guys will get it after this. Remember, I never said you guys were wrong either. Love is the foundation of family. But somebody blow my mind. What is the foundation of family? Context. Give Akwaf Kaya a hand. Brotherhood and sisterhood is the foundation of family. That's the foundation of family. Alright? You guys are not wrong when you say love, because you guys are absolutely correct. Right? Right? But before we get there, right? Before we get there, remember, it's brotherhood and sisterhood. Remember, there's an order to everything. I say this every class. There's an order to everything. There's a reason why I ask those questions in that order. To give a better understanding of what's being taught and what's being said. Brotherhood and sisterhood is the foundation of family. Now we know, well, if brotherhood and sisterhood is the foundation of family, that means love is the foundation of family. And if love is the foundation of family, then what is love? Following his commandments. That's the foundation of family. Law. Right? Law. Brotherhood and sisterhood. Family. Right? Family. Family. This is the foundation of family. Brotherhood and sisterhood. That's the foundation of family. And that's something that we're missing in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. We're missing brotherhood and sisterhood. We're missing love. We're missing the laws of God. Right? Let's continue. Let's get back. Genesis chapter 24, verse 67. And Isaac, right? It says, and Isaac brought her. Now it says, and Isaac brought her. Now, does anybody know who the her is talking about? Well, let's continue reading. Right? And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent. So Isaac is the son of Abraham. One of the sons of Abraham. So Isaac is one of the sons of Abraham. And Isaac is the son of Sarah. Alright? Of Sarah. So Isaac is the son, one of the sons of Abraham and the son of Sarah. Alright? So in Isaac, no sweat, Aqua. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent. So Isaac brought her. Her is referring to a woman. So Isaac brought a woman into his mother's tent. Not his own tent, but his mother's tent. Alright? Alright? It's a common Judite thing, and apparently I think it's an Israelite thing, to bring your girl into your mama's house. This is right here, Salakia, right here. This is like a typical Israelite thing. If you are a brother, you know what I'm talking about. You always bring a woman or some girl or some hussy, Salaki if I could, so some hussy into your mama's house. Alright? It's always the mama's house you bring her into. It's never your daddy's house, never your grandpa's house. It's either your grandma's house or your mother's house. You bring this girl up in here. That's what you do. I think it's like an Israelite tradition to bring a girl into your mama's house. Alright? Now, of course, because we're so damn destroyed, of course, it's mama's house, it's grandma's house, and not grandpa's house, or your daddy's house, because we're so goddamn destroyed now. You know, I said this before. Grandpa worked his whole entire life for it to be called grandma's house. I say this every time. Grandpa worked his whole entire life for the house to be called grandma's house. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's neither here nor there. So, and Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent. So Isaac, you know, the son of Abraham, all right, the son of Sarah, right, brought this woman into his mother's tent, all right, and took Rebekah. And it says, and took Rebekah. Does anybody know what that took means? Does anybody know? Can anyone guess what that took means? It says, and took Rebekah. Anybody want to guess? I'm going to continue reading the scripture out, but I want you guys to guess what it means, and took Rebekah. It says, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. It says, and she became his wife. So what does it mean that he took Rebekah? What does it mean that he took Rebekah? Right, okay. So what does it mean, took? What's the took? Anybody? What is the took? Took is a verb, meaning you took something. What did he just take? What did Isaac just take? That's what I need to know. What is the took? We can't just overlook this. In chronological order, he brought her into his mother's tent. They walk it into his mother's tent. All right? And the Lord says, and took Rebekah. What's that took? What did Isaac take? Anybody? What did Isaac take? What did Isaac take? Anybody? What did Isaac take? I want to know if y'all know. What is the took? And took Rebekah. Someone give me some answers. What is the took and took Rebekah? What is that? What is that action? What is it? And she became his wife. This is Genesis chapter 24, verse 67. Anybody? Okay, sex with her. Her virginity, okay. I don't really want to say virginity, but how do you take someone's virginity? In context, I know what you mean by virginity. So, how do you do it? The Aquaf is correct. Sex with her. So, how do you take someone's virginity? Salaki. Alright, how do you take someone's virginity? Quote unquote. We know in context, we know what virginity means. Alright, so this is just for teaching purposes. We know what virginity means. But I want the Akwa to say exactly what it is. Took her away from her family, made new family. That's correct. And how did he do it? How did Isaac do that? Right, took her away from her family, made new family. That's true. That's exactly what he did. That's the took. Took her away from her family, made new family, that's correct. But how did he do it? Sex. Anybody else? I want everybody to give an answer. I want everybody to give an answer. Alright? We all need to know this. How did that, and took Rebekah? Sex. That's how he took Rebekah. He had sex with Rebekah. Right? And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent. And took Rebekah, meaning he had sex with Rebekah, and she became his wife. Right. He became his wife. Now my question is, right? Now here's my question. Where's the ring? Right? Where's the ring? I thought a ring made marriage. It said Rebekah became Isaac's wife. Where was Rebekah's ring? Huh? Where was the piece of paper? Right? Where was the piece of paper at? Where was the piece of paper? Where's that paper saying that you're married? To be really married. Where's that ring? Where's it at? I don't see it nowhere in the scripture. I don't see it. This is marriage in the Bible right here. Nah, there's no ring. There's no ring. It said, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. Right? Exactly. That's pagan. This is how you become a wife in Israel. You become a wife by having sex with a man. You have a wife by shaking them sheets. All right? That's how you become a wife in Israel. All right? That's how you become a wife in Israel. That bed is shaking. Call me Mr. Flintstone. I'm going to make that bed rock. That's what happens. That's how you become a wife in Israel. All right? That's how you become it. All right? All right? I won't go into detail, but just know that's how you become a wife in Israel. Right here in the Bible. And took Rebekah, and she became his wife. And guess in the next line says, and he loved her. Right? And he loved her. He loved Rebekah. He took her into his mother's tent, had sex with her. She became his wife, and he loved her. Now that's beautiful. That is great. That is great. And he loved her. How many men have sex with women now and don't even give a damn about the sister? How many men have sex with women now and throw the goddamn sister away to the streets? How many men just have sex with whores and prostitutes and escorts and don't give a damn about sisters? How many? Almost goddamn 60 to 70% of the black, Hispanic, and Native American community. When you have sex with a woman, you are to love her, not just throw her away, not just take advantage of her, not beat on her and whip her tail and throw her out somewhere. That's not what the Lord said. The Lord just said right here, he had sex with Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her. He didn't put his hands on her. He didn't get into domestic fights with her. He didn't throw her away. He didn't just tear it up and say, all right, I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and work with the next one. You go about your day. He didn't say that. The Lord said, and he loved her. What does it mean to love? Right? What does it mean to love? Meaning, he cared for her according to the laws of God. He was there to protect her, to teach her and guide her and put her in her goddamn place when needed. That's love. That's love. He protected her. He made sure she was safe. That's what and loved her. The opposite of love is hate. When you hate someone, that means you don't give a damn about them. You don't give a damn about their health. You don't give a damn about their condition. You don't give a damn about them entirely. Alright? Love is keeping God's law, statutes, commandments. I care about what you eat. Because I know certain things that you eat can kill you, can harm you, can bring an early death. So I'm going to stop you from doing this because I love you. Because you are my wife. You are my family. When you become married, when you have sex with a woman, she just became your family. That is your family now. No ifs and buts about it. She is your family. And you are to love her. You are to make sure she doesn't die from high blood pressure. You make sure she doesn't die from a diabetic stroke. You make sure she doesn't die from lung cancer. You make sure she doesn't die from liver cancer. You make sure she doesn't die from a heart attack. You make sure she doesn't die from a stroke. Right? You make sure she doesn't die from heart disease. You make sure she doesn't die from HIV and AIDS. You make sure you love her. That's protection. That's love right there. I'm protecting you as a woman from these dangers when you eat certain foods or when you live a certain lifestyle. Alright? This is what happens. This is what happens. Alright? This is what you do. This is what love is. It says, and he loved her. Like, this is something, so like it, if you're unmarried, who is your family? So if you're unmarried, who is your family? Okay. In the Isupk, we are your family. Does anybody have my precept? Can anybody give me my precept? the Aquaf asks, if you're unmarried, who is your family? Anybody give me my precept? Anybody? If you're unmarried, who is your family? One West is your family. Isupk is your family. Commanding General Yohana is your family. General Mahaiman is your family. The generals is your family. The captains is your family. The officers are your family. The troopers are your family. The sisters are your family. The brothers that are in the school are your family. How do we know this is your family if you're unmarried? Right? Regardless if you're married or unmarried, you will always have a family. And that's One West. And that's Isupk. In the world, you can be unmarried, but you're not going to have a family that you thought that was your family. In the world, your family is the worst ever in the world. Your family is filled with pedophiles, child molesters, rapists, murderers, right? Murderers, thieves, just whatever. And they treat you like garbage. They steal from you. They try to kill you, try to stab you. Like, this is what happens in families in the world. We absolutely hate each other in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. Like, we absolutely hate each other in Black families. Just like how we hate each other in Black marriages, in Hispanic families, and Hispanic marriages, in Native American families, and Native American marriages. We absolutely hate each other. We'll stab each other, try to kill each other, we'll steal from each other, we'll molest your kids, and etc., etc. This is what happens in Black families and Black marriages. In the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community, you end up marrying a child molester. You end up marrying some pedophile. You end up marrying the most worst man ever when you're in the world. It's absolutely terrible. No thanks to the Christian church, and no thanks to the white man being the devil that the Bible speaks of. It's absolutely ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. All right? One West is your family. The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge is your family. Mark. Let's get Mark chapter 3. Real quick. Mark chapter 3. Verse, let's see. Verse 35. For whosoever shall do the will of the Most High, the same is my brother, and my sister, and mother. Your brother is a member of a family. Your sister is a member of your family. And mother is a member of your family. And this is Christ talking. And this is Christ speaking. And the Lord says, for whosoever shall do the will of the Most High, meaning serve the Most High, and keep his laws, and keep his statutes, and keep his commandments, and not eat pork, shrimp, and lobster, not be a murderer, not be a thief, not be an abortionist, not to steal from each other, not to molest your kids and be some pedophile. You understand? Like, this is what it means to do the will of the Most High, is to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. That the same is my brother, and my sister, and mother. Meaning, if you serve the Most High, and you keep his commandments, you are my family. That's what Christ said. One West is your family. The Isupk is your family. Alright? When you marry to them, when you come into this truth, the Bible goes over and over again, talks about how we're married to the Most High. When you're married to the Lord, right? Over and over in the Bible, it talks about Israel being married to the Lord. right? So if you don't listen to the Lord and you go worship other gods, you commit adultery. Meaning you go against the Lord and you're no longer married to the Lord. So you and the Lord are no longer family at that point. But of course the Lord loves you, right, when it comes to the nation of Israel, and he wants you to be his family. He wants you to keep his laws. He wants to keep his statutes. He wants you to keep his commandments, and that's the reason why Christ came to the scene. Everybody understands? That's the purpose of why Christ came. All right? To give you another chance. To give you a second chance. After that, that's it. You still want to go against Christ? That's it. No sweat. We're no longer family. We good. If you don't follow Christ, we ain't family. If you don't want to listen to Christ, we not family. We good. We not about that. You straight. We not family. Yeah, you're my brother. Yeah, you're my sister. And I'll love you as my brother. And I'll love you as my sister. But just know, I know where my real family is. It's the ones that do the will of the Most High. Because I can trust my family. I can't trust you. I can't trust you as a brother. I can't trust you as a sister. But I can trust One West. I can trust the Isupk. I can trust that. Because that is your family. Alright? When you come into this truth, you're married to this truth. You become one family, just like you become one what? When you are married to this truth, you become one family, and you become one what? Finish it. You become one what? Give me my answer. You become one what? Not one flesh. Not one flesh. That was a good answer, but you become one what? Not one family, because when you marry to the Most High, you become one flesh with the Most High. You become one family, but you become one what? One West. Give the aqua the hand. You become one West. That's what you become. You become one West. That's it. Shalom. That's it. That's the answer. You become one West. Okay, Salaki, can you break down what it means to be equally yoked? Okay, what it means to be equally yoked. Okay, all right. All right. Let's see. Okay. So the aqua break down what it means to be equally yoked. All right. So, first things first, in order for us to break down what it means to be equally yoked, right, we have to first understand what it means to be unequally yoked. All right. So if we want to find the answer of what it means to be equally yoked, we have to know what it means to be unequally yoked. All right? All right? So, 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14. But be ye not unequally yoked, right? Together, right, with unbelievers. Does anybody know what it means to be yoked? Right? Real quick, does anybody know what it means to be yoked? Anybody know what it means to be yoked? To be yoked. If you're yoked together, what does it mean to be yoked? La'ah, not la'ah. Yoke. Doesn't mean thoughts on. Okay, not yet. Same thoughts or mindset. What does yoke mean? What does it mean to be yoked? Like, what's yoke? What does the word? What's the definition of yoke? What does yoke mean? Anybody know? Okay, yoke, quickly. All right, yoke meaning to tie together, meaning being together. Right? So yoke, right? Khan, Akwaf, you're correct. Shakal, give Akwaf a hand. Shakal, that's correct. Yoke meaning together, meaning you guys are tied together. You guys are linked together. Yoke sometimes is very synonymous to the word marriage as well, right? That's why the Lord used this word purposely, because in 2 Corinthians chapter 6 is talking about marriage. All right? It's given Salaki. It's not so much talking about marriage in a way, but it does touch bases on coming together, meaning being tied together. It's in reference of it. Honestly, also you can also take family out of this too. Not this specific verse, but in 2 Corinthians chapter 6. All right, but it really talks about being together, right? That's what this is about. The reference of is meaning coming together, being tied with something, and etc., etc. So the Lord used this word purposely, all right? But yoke, right? All right, yoke, okay? Yoke, meaning together, all right? So to be unequally yoked. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, right? So meaning you cannot, so be ye not unequally yoked, meaning do not be not equal, right? Meaning not on the same page and tied together with unbelievers. Who would be unbelievers? Well, the Lord is going to explain to you what unbelievers are. Unbelievers are for what fellowship, right? Meaning what business, right? Have righteousness with unrighteousness. That's what an unbeliever is. Someone that is unrighteous. Meaning someone that doesn't keep God's law, statutes, and commandments, right? If you keep God's law, statutes, and commandments, then what fellowship do you have with someone that doesn't? You're not the same. All right? You're not the same. You guys are completely different. So be ye not unequally yoked. All right? Be ye not unequally yoked with unbelievers. All right? For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion have light with darkness? The Lord is just saying, if you're opposites and y'all not on the same page, right? And y'all not doing the same things, and you guys don't have the same mindset, right? Then why are you trying to be together? Right? Why would you be together with this person? This is not specifically talking about marriage, by the way. Okay? Just to let you guys know, this is not specifically talking about marriage. Okay? This is in general talking about just you fellowshipping, right? Meaning doing business with, or just hanging around and being tied together with someone that is not on the same page as you. That's not keeping God's laws, statutes, commandments like you. It's going to cause problems, right? You guys are unequally yoked. All right. This is not focusing on marriage. Can it be used for marriage? Yes. But the scripture alone is not only about marriage. All right? Does that answer your question, Nakwa? So to be unequally yoked, it just means y'all not doing the same thing. You're not on the same page. You're not keeping God's law, statutes, commandments. All right? You're keeping the law and the other person is not. That's all it is. All right? Like for an example, right? We have family, right? Which is in the truth. Then we have family that's not in the truth. We're more around our family in the truth because we believe in the same thing. And we believe in righteousness. And we believe in keeping God's laws, statutes, commandments. But you have family in the world. And you're not really going to be around them all the time. Because you guys are unequally yoked. There's always going to be some conversation about how you are against America and the white man is the devil. But to them, the white man is as innocent as a newborn baby almost. Just completely innocent. And the white man is not the devil, and I'm going to continue to vote as a Democrat. You guys are unequally yoked. You know what I'm saying? So, does that answer your question, Aqua? Just let me know if it does. It's a lot. Why is it used when the UPK talks about courting and being equally yoked? Okay, that might depend on a specific council, all right? So that's a specific council, okay? That's a council more so, all right? So if it's used in council, right? That's what I'm saying. It's not prefer. Okay. In a council, okay, when it comes to council, like I said, the scripture, right, is not just used for marriage alone, all right? It's referring to how you are just not the same as someone else, all right? Okay, it's the point of unrighteousness and righteousness, light and dark. The point is, pretty much you guys aren't going to mix, whoever it is. Like the spirit behind that verse, right, is not mixing. Okay? It's just not mixing. Right? There's always a spirit behind every scripture. The Bible says the law is spiritual. Alright? So the words that are in the Bible, they're spiritual. There's a spirit behind it. Right? So the spirit behind it is you're not going to mix. You're not going along. So if it's a specific counsel, alright, or whatever the case may be, alright, it's just not mixing. It's just not going to mix. All right, that's all it is. There's a spirit behind it. All right. Okay, Most High in Christ. Okay, no, Most High in Christ. No sweat. God. All right, let's get Exodus chapter 22, verse 16. All right, and it says, and if a man entice a maid, so if you're a man and you entice a maid, right, and you spitting game to this sister, a maid is a woman, right? A maid is a female, and you're a man, right? And you're enticing this woman, spitting game to her, saying, "Oh, you beautiful, you cute, etc., etc. I like you, whatever the case may be." You know what I'm saying? You cook real good, whatever the case may be. You know, whatever it may be, right? You're enticing the maid. If a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, meaning this woman is not with a man, nor is this woman courting a man. Right? This is how important it is, right, for a man not to talk to another man's woman. You cannot even talk to a woman that is already courting a man. You can't do it. It's not supposed to be done. Like, it's so important to understand how important it is to the Lord, right, to not talk to a woman that's even courting a man. Betrothed meaning engaged, right? Engaged, meaning you're not married yet, right? That's why the Lord said not betrothed, right? So if she's not even, like, she doesn't have to be married for you to not entice her. Even if she's courting a brother, you can't entice her. That's what the Lord is saying. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, meaning you have sex with this woman, right? You spit game to her, whatever the case may be, and whatever, y'all like each other, y'all click, y'all end up having sex with each other. He shall surely endow her to be his wife. This is in the law. This is in the Bible. This is what love is. Meaning, right here in the law, this is what love is. If you have sex with a woman as a man, right? She is your wife. You endow her, that's it. You pay that dowry. That's it. You laid with her. Now she is your family. You married her. You had sex with her. Now she is your family. Now she becomes your responsibility. Now you have to love her, just like Isaac had sex with Rebekah and she became his wife and he loved her. Just like that. So if you are a man out there, right, and you have sex with a woman, that is your wife. And you are going to love her just like Isaac loved Rebekah. Everybody understands? Just like Isaac loved Rebekah, you are to love that woman that you had sex with. That's love. Right there, that's love. What's love? Meaning you're not going to leave that woman. You're not going to throw that woman away. That's love right there. That's real love right there. That's amazing. That's beautiful. For a man to have sex with a sister and not throw her away or treat her like some hussy or some whore or some prostitute, right? That's love. A lot of sisters get prostituted out here and slutted out and taken advantage of and thrown to the streets because our brothers out there and our sons and our men are not being taught how to truly be men and be fathers and what it truly means to have a family and how important sex is to the Lord. Right, give the aqua a hand. You are going to suffer it. You are going to suffer it. Once you have sex with that sister, you are going to suffer it. You're going to suffer and tolerate that sister. You married her. Oh, well, I'm not even going to get there yet. Here we go. Let's get Matthew chapter 19. Before I even get to that point, right? Before we even get to that point, let's get Matthew chapter 19. All right? It says right here, Matthew chapter 19, verse 3. So we're going to start at verse 3. Now, this right here, all right? So now, this is Christ on the coast of Judea, right? Beyond Jordan. This is where Christ is, okay? And Matthew chapter 19, verse 3. The Pharisees also came unto him. So this is the coast of Jordan. And the Pharisees come unto Christ. Right? The Pharisees come unto Christ. Right? The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him. So they're trying to tempt Christ. They're trying to get Christ to mess up. They're trying to get Christ to say something wrong because they want Christ dead. They want Christ to be put to death. They want Christ to be persecuted, etc., etc. They are not cool with Christ. They don't like Christ. The Pharisees and Sadducees, they're against Christ. So they're doing anything that they can to make this brother slip up. That's their goal. Right? That's their goal. Just like how like these Pharisees and Sadducees have an evil spirit. Right? An evil spirit against Christ, man. They have just an evil spirit as those brothers, or it's like those men that were from the Persian Medes going against Daniel. Alright? And the Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, saying unto him, is it lawful? So the Pharisees are asking, is it lawful? Like, this is something that we have to understand. In the Bible, in the New Testament, They're asking questions about the law. Like, this is what makes the Christian church so evil. Like, they're asking about the law and what's lawful, what's not lawful. Is this lawful? But Christians turn around and all in all, they say, yeah, the law is done away with. Like, you can't do that. That doesn't make any sense. Something deals with law. Something deals with order. You know what I'm saying? Something deals with commands. Something deals with God's laws, statutes, and commandments. So now, is it lawful for a man? So they're asking, is it lawful for a man? Meaning, is it legally right according to the laws of God? Right? Is it legally right? Right? Is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? Right? So it says to put his wife for every cause. What's every cause? Can anybody tell me can anybody name me every cause? Right? What's every cause? Anybody give me examples of every cause? So the Pharisees are asking, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? Meaning for any reason. Right? They're asking this. Right? Like, this is something the Christian church completely defies, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Christian church, and like, I get so angry at times. Christian women talk so much about wanting to be married and all this other stuff and etc. etc. The Christian church, Slocky, I'm gonna break it down later. But I'm just gonna say the Christian church is so goddamn evil. You know what I'm saying? It's so goddamn evil, it's ridiculous. Like, what I'm thinking in my head right now, I'm gonna tell you what I'm angry at when I get it. Let's go to verse 4. So give me the answer to every cause. What's any reason? Give me a reason. Give me some reasons to give me some reasons that we know today in the world, right? That are okay to put away your wife for. Anything. Give me some reasons in the world, all right? Because that's every cause. What's any reason? What's every cause? Verse 4. And he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning, right? That he which made them, which is referring to the Lord, referring to the Most High, right? Right? At the beginning. Now Christ is talking about Genesis. Christ is literally referencing the Old Testament. Remember what I told you. Genesis literally means the beginning. Barashah in the Hebrew, in the beginning. So Christ right here is talking about Genesis right here in the New Testament. Christ is referencing the Old Testament right here. At the beginning made them male and female. So Christ is, this is Christ talking, and Christ is like, yeah, in the beginning, right? Did the Lord not make male and female? Like, he's asking them, right? Like, did he not make man and female? Male and female? Man and woman? Like, this is what Christ is asking. Verse 5, and said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave unto his wife. It's like it cleave to his wife. Right? It's starting to sound familiar, right? Right? Like, it's the law for you to cleave to your wife. Right? It's our law to leave mother and father and cleave to the woman that you have sex with. That's law. Right? That's in the law. That's why Christ is bringing it up. And shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one, and they twain shall be one flesh. Right? Does anybody know what it means to be twain? It says, and they twain shall be one flesh. Meaning the twain that they have. Does anybody know what a twain means? Twain meaning into two parts. Separation. Separate. Meaning the twain shall be one flesh. Meaning that those two pieces, those two parts are now one. So those two parts become one. Right? So Christ is asking them, when you get a wife, don't those two parts become one? Doesn't the man and the woman become one? Does not the husband and the wife become one? Right? Be one flesh. Meaning what? One family. Right? They become one family, right? Verse 6. Wherefore, Wherefore, they are no more twain. So, therefore, they are no more in two parts. They are no more separated. Right? But one flesh. Rather, but meaning rather, right? One flesh. One family. Right? One family. What therefore the Most High have joined together, let not man put. So it says, what therefore the Most High have joined together. So what the Lord put together, right? What the Lord put together, that man and that woman, that husband and that wife, right? Let not man put asunder. Does anybody know what asunder means? Does anybody know what it means to asunder? Asunder means to separate, meaning to take apart. Alright? Meaning, you are not to break up that family. So they're asking. So the Pharisees are asking Christ, right? The Most High is asking Christ. The Pharisees are asking Christ, can you put away your wife lawfully for any reason at all? But Christ just said, you are not to asunder what the Lord put together. Meaning, you are not to break up what Christ put together. Meaning, you are not allowed to break up that one flesh. Meaning, you are not allowed to break up that what? You are not to break up that family. This happens all the time in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. This happens all the time, right? The Akwaf said it perfectly. Akwaf Shakar, she said it perfectly. You are going to suffer it. You are going to tolerate that. You are going to tolerate that woman that you have sex with. There is no reason for you to get rid of that woman. There's no reason. There is no cause. There is no any cause. What? Oh, I'm sorry. Man, this woman talks too much. Well, that didn't matter when you had sex with her. Too goddamn bad. You had sex with her. You should have thought about having sex with her. Right? You should have thought about having sex with her. Right? You should have thought about it. You should have weighed the matters of, well, am I okay with her talking this goddamn much? Am I okay with this? Can I get her to stop talking so goddamn much? What if you can't? Well, you already had sex with her. So it doesn't matter if you can't or you can. You're going to have to suffer it. You're going to have to suffer it out. Alright? You're going to have to suffer it out. So it's that simple. Alright? Why? Now, everyone's probably wondering, well, why is Officer Yerushalayim so focused on the brothers? Right? Because we make the decisions around here. Black, Hispanic, Native American men, we make the decisions back here. We do. We're men. We're held responsible for a lot of things. So we make decisions right here. And we're going to have to own up to some of the decisions we make. Alright? As a man, you're going to have to suffer those decisions you make. You're a man. Alright? And them sisters, you're going to have to suffer those decisions you make too as a woman by yourself when you don't have a man. It falls on you. When a man didn't make that decision for you. It falls on you. But let me tell you, as a man, it will always fall on us. So you're gonna have to suffer that decision you made having sex with that woman. Oh, well, she don't cook as much. It didn't matter to you that she cooked so much. Right? It didn't matter to you. You just wanted to blow the sister's back out. You just wanted to have sex with her and rock that bed away and rock them sheets off. It didn't matter to you that she didn't cook a lot. If it mattered so goddamn much, why did you have sex with her? Why did you put her rod? Why did you put your rod in her then? If it mattered so goddamn much, brother, then you shouldn't have had sex with her. Oh, well, she don't wear as many dresses as I would like. It didn't goddamn matter to you before you slept with her, did it? Like, this is what it means. You can't just get rid of a woman for any cause. Whatever the reason it may be, it doesn't matter the reason. It doesn't matter the reason. You can't get rid of her. You can't throw her away. You can't put her away. Can't do it. Doesn't matter. All right? Doesn't matter. Unless she commits adultery. Right? Unless she breaks that family up. You are not to break that family up. The Lord literally just said, let not man put asunder. Meaning, let no man break apart a family. The Christian church breaks away black families by teaching black women that they can leave their man because of how they feel if things are not going right. The Christian church breaks families apart by teaching black men that you can have sex with whoever and whenever, and you're not married unless it's on paper and you gave that woman a ring. Christian churches break up families by teaching our children this, by teaching our black, Hispanic, and Native American men this, by teaching our so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American women this. This is how the Christian church breaks up families. This is how the Christian church breaks up marriages. This is how they do it. By what they teach and what they tell you what's okay. Do you know the divorce rate is so high in the black, Hispanic, and Native American community? Like, we have the highest divorce rate. We have one of the highest divorces rate in America. If you are black, Hispanic, and Native American, you are very likely to get a divorce within the first 3 years of your marriage. Does everybody understand that? You understand that? And God forbid you guys have children together. God forbid that. God forbid you have children together. But you guys understand that, right? We are prone, right? Right? To break our marriages within the first 3 years of our marriage. For what? Well, I don't like what he's doing. I don't like what she's doing. I don't like the fact that he got another woman on me. He cheated on me. And all this other stuff. Listen. We're not going to get on the cheating topic. All right? We're not going to get on the cheating topic. We will not. All right? We will not. We're just going to breeze past it. But this is the problem in the black, Hispanic, Native American community. The Christian church will teach you, right? Will teach black women. If a man gets another woman, he's cheating on you. And you can get a divorce. Well, my question is to you, Christian, right? Where in the Bible does it say if a man gets another woman, you can get a divorce? Where does it say it? Well, let's continue reading. Verse 6. That's like in verse 7. They say unto him, this is the Pharisees talking now, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away? So now they're trying to trip him up. Well, why did Moses allow divorce? Why did Moses allow it? Right? Why did Moses allow it? Well, guess what? This is what Christ says. Verse 8. He saith unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives. At that time, Moses had to suffer it. He had to suffer it at that time. Because we were just coming out of Egypt. And we were just learning how to be Israelites again. We were just learning how to serve the Lord again. We came from an Egyptian lifestyle. We came from a Christian lifestyle. We came from serving other gods lifestyle. We were fighting with each other. We were killing each other. Domestic cases everywhere. So Moses said, hey, this is something that we're going to have to do for now. Y'all separate from each other, and you get one time as a sister to marry another brother. After that, you're considered unclean from that point on. I'm going to get the divorce. Whatever the case may be, you can marry another brother. Once you marry that brother, you got to stay with that brother. But if you leave that brother and go with another brother, you are unclean, and that's it. And you can't get back with the original brother that you left. That's it. We can go over that. You can find that in the book of Deuteronomy. But Moses suffered it at that time. But guess what Christ says next? But from the beginning, say but from the beginning, meaning from Genesis, from the beginning, meaning from what the Lord originally set up, it was not so. Meaning it was never so, right? It was never so for you to separate from the man that you had sex with. It was never so for you to put away the woman that you had sex with. It was never so. It was never so. So Christ is explaining to everybody that was never supposed to be the case. It was never supposed to be that. But Moses suffered it. Now, is this saying divorce is okay? No. Because this is what Christ says next. This is how you know that getting a divorce, right? Getting a divorce is not an option. This is how you know. Verse 9. I think I broke this down yesterday. Verse 9. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, meaning whosoever shall put away his wife, right? Except it be for fornication, meaning the exception of that woman having sex with another man. The only cause you can put away your wife, the exception is if that woman commits fornication. If she goes out and has sex with another man or another woman. That is the only time, right, it is permitted to put away your wife. Any other reason, you are to suffer it. That's it. For any reason as a brother, you are to suffer it. You are to tolerate it. It didn't matter when you was having sex with her. Right? It didn't matter when you wanted to have sex with her, did it? Suffer it. She don't cook, that's your problem, brother. No sweat. That's one wife that doesn't cook. Next time you'll get a wife that does cook. No sweat. No sweat. Here's what it is. Get you a wife that will cook. No sweat, brother. Nothing wrong with that. Get you a wife that will cook. Right? You know? It is what it is. You know? She'll notice that you're not in the house as much because she's not cooking. And maybe she'll start cooking. Just maybe. Just maybe she's like, you know what? Why is my man not in the house? Well, because you're not cooking, sis. And start cooking. You might see him more. Like it. You might just see him a lot more then. Start cooking your tail off. Just maybe. Alright? And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another. So if you put away your wife, right, and she did not commit fornication, meaning she did not commit adultery, and then you get another wife, right, committed adultery. That's it. That's it. You are not to break up families. You are not to break up marriages. This is what Christ is trying to teach the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. You are not to break up a family. It is so wicked and so evil for a woman to tell her man, it's either me or her. It is so evil and so wicked for a sister to tell her man it's either me or her. That's breaking up a family. That's a family. You are not to break up a family. You are not to asunder anything. That is a family. Alright? Listen. A lot of sisters say this too. A lot of sisters say this in the world too. Right? Well, he got another woman. Right? He got another woman, so, right? He broke this family up. By him getting another woman, he broke this family up. He teared this family apart. Really? Really? He broke it apart. No, he did not break the family apart. No, he did not. You are forcing him to break up his family by you leaving him. He didn't break his family up. He didn't break his marriage or destroy his marriage. He's not the one leaving. You're the one that's leaving. So you're the one destroying the marriage. You're the one. You can't blame the brother saying that he destroyed the marriage by getting another woman. He didn't leave you. Him getting another woman does not mean he left or is leaving you. He still continued to be with you, and he still continued to love you. But because there's another woman, you as a woman decided to leave your man, to leave your family, and to break up your family. It is so evil. It is so evil for sisters, right, to force brothers, right, to force brothers to leave other sisters for them. That is so evil. Do you know how many cases it is in the Black Hispanic Native American community that Black Hispanic Native American sisters give a ultimatum to a brother and say, if you don't stop talking to her, if you don't stop messing with her, then you can't have me? Listen, don't do that to me. Block it. Don't do that to me. You don't want to do that to me. I'll tell you, enjoy. Enjoy. Be gone. Go ahead. Enjoy. You know, I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of the Lord. I'm the man of the Most High. I'm not going to break up families because you are so goddamn emotional and you're all up in your feelings and you were never taught and understood what a real family and a real marriage is because the goddamn Christian church told you if a man gets another woman, it's cheating. And that's lines of divorce. A man getting another woman is not lines of divorce. Just like you not cooking is not lines of divorce. You not wearing a dress is not lines of divorce. You talking too much is not lines of divorce. You not doing something right is not lines of divorce. These are not reasons or causes for a man to put you away as a wife. Just like a man getting another woman are not reasons to leave your man and get another man. Because Christ also says, and whoso married her, which is put away, doth commit adultery. Meaning when you go out and have sex with that man, right, that's adultery too. And that man that married that sister was put away, now he commits adultery as well. Because he has sex with a married woman. Alright? Anybody understands? Alright, when it comes to that. You are not to break up a family. You are to keep family together. This is the foundation of family. This is the foundation of marriage. This is love right here. You as a brother, you as a sister, you are not to break a family apart. Because that's love. We need to understand what family really is. In the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community, the reason why it's so destroyed and families don't work and marriages fail, because we don't know what a real marriage is according to the Bible. Nor do we know what a real marriage is, a real family is according to the Bible. That's why our households fail. Our marriages fail. Our families fail. And you're wondering why our sons grow up without fathers. And they become Bloods. They become Crips and Gangster Disciples. And they become Latin Kings and MS-13s. You understand? You're wondering why our daughters become whores and prostitutes and get taken out of their homes and get sex trafficked around America and to other countries around the earth. You're wondering why this happens predominantly at a high rate in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. You wonder why? Because we don't know what real family is. We don't know what real marriage is. What's the foundation of marriage? What's the foundation of family? What is it? Anybody tell me before class ends? What is it? Anybody? What is it? What's the foundation of marriage? What's the foundation of family? Anybody? The foundation of marriage and the foundation of family is brotherhood. It's sisterhood. And that's love, which is keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. Alright? That's what it is. That's what it is. That's the foundation of a family. That's the foundation of marriage. Is to have brotherhood. Is to have sisterhood. Is to have love, which is keeping the laws of God. Meaning you are not to be evil and so wicked to leave your man because of another woman. And as a man, not to leave your wife for another woman. That's love. You understand? With that, alright, I say imagine, which means to stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give a courteous salute to the sisters. It's like a courteous salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat, Imagine, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua Bakatah, Yadin Matah, Sar, La'akwaki, which means turn and face the sisters. Men of Israel, we're going to give a courteous salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat, Imagine, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alathan, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Yadin Matah. With that, class dismissed.